Looks like we're about to get started here.
Hang on one second, I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right, thank you for joining us. We'll now begin with an opening statement from head coach Brian O'Connor, and then we'll go straight to questions.
Well, just overall a great performance by our guys for sure. Andrew Abbot was terrific. He made some big key clutch pitches with runners in scoring position, multiple innings. But that's what your Friday night guy, your leader, your All-American needs to do to win here in Omaha, and he certainly delivered. And I just felt after 6 innings and the jams that he had pitched out of that, it was time for him to come out of the game. And fortunately, we were able to stretch the lead and bring in Matt Wyatt. And I thought Matt did a terrific job. Matt's been throwing some really, really great baseball for us and can be overpowering at times. And it was just from an offensive standpoint, it's a total collective team effort, right? We capitalized on some opportunities in the big inning, in the 7th inning, with some stolen bases and some big clutch hits. And how about the day that Logan Michaels had? I'm so proud of him. To get his first home run of the year in Omaha, and then to get a couple of other knocks. That guy has been a rock for us in our uniform. He's a tremendous leader. Zach Geloff was outstanding today as well as many, many guys. So just proud that we started off 1-0, and I can't say so many great things about how we played in every facet of the game. We were prepared. They handled the moment very, very well, and I knew they would because of the situation that they've been in the last few weeks.
Bennett Conlon, you are up first.
Bennett Conlon with the Daily Progress. Coach, you mentioned Logan Michaels and his performance, but to have him do this the way he did on Father's Day in Omaha, what's that like to watch as a coach?
Proud. There was a time 3 years ago that I didn't know Logan Michaels would show up to campus because of what he was dealing with his father. And he decided to come. He was encouraged by his parents to be here. And I'm just so incredibly proud of him to be able to deliver like he did on this special day. I know this day it's special for all of us, certainly, but for him, I'm just elated for him that he can perform for his team and his father can sit there and watch him do it. I'm just really, really excited for their family.
Jeff White, you are up next.
Brian, Tennessee had runners on 1st and 3rd in the 1st inning with none out. Abbott worked his way out of that. How pivotal do you think that was, what Andrew was able to do? And looking forward in this tournament, to have only used 2 pitchers tonight, how well does that set you up for Tuesday and beyond?
Well, I think Jeff, I think it sets us up well. That I've been really, really excited about the depth of this pitching staff, the high quality depth of it. I just feel like we have some really elite arms and many of them. So to only have to use 2 of them certainly excites me. So the 1st inning, this game is a game of it's emotional, and it's for him to show the poise, the calmness that he did in that 1st inning. Sometimes here in Omaha, that 1st inning can be a difficult inning for starting pitchers. And he handled it like a champion, handled it like a winner. He continued to make pitches and was fortunate to get out of it. And I think those momentum swings that you can see in these games when the competition level is so elite that you have guys that step up and do that, it was impressive.
David Teal, you are on the clock.
David Teal, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Brian, how do you as a coach handle a young man or approach a young man's situation when he's going through a family crisis like Logan was? Do you give them space? How much counseling do you offer? And has your approach evolved over the years?
It has, first and foremost, David, when you have children of your own and you see, when things happen in people's lives, the impact that it has on young people. And, these players that wear our uniform, they look to us as coaches and administrators as leaders that are looking out for their best interests. So, and care for them. That's what this is about, right? Lots to be made about home runs and guys rising up and going on to the professional baseball. But when it comes down to it in its simplest form, it's about caring for young people. And if you have talent and you care for young people, and you're teaching them the right things, you got a shot. And, family is always going to be first. And so, checking in with Logan, telling him certain times that, hey, listen, if you need to step away from fall baseball or things like that and you need to go home and spend a couple weeks, you need to do that, right? And because that family's first and foremost, and encourage them, checking in with him, making sure that, we're providing them the right support to move through a tough situation like he's had and other players have had as well.
Scott Ratcliffe.
Jerry Ratcliffe.
Hey, Brian, can you talk about the seventh inning? What was the chatter in the dugout when you got to their starter and then lit up their closer?
Well, Jerry, we had been taking some pretty good swings. We had squared some balls up throughout the game. I felt like it was a matter of time before we were going to be able to capitalize on some of those opportunities. And then, we had some guys step up and get big clutch hits. And I tell the team all the time, this is what this is about. You got to enjoy the moment, right? And you have to have calmness and poise. But then it comes down to individual players emerging and getting that big hit, that big pitch, or that big play. And that's what they did, and then they brought their closer in, and we were able to run a little bit and get a couple of other guys in scoring position and get a few more knocks, and that momentum started to roll for us pretty good.
Preston Willett.
Hey, Preston Willett with CBS 19. Oak, Jeff Michaels told me after the game that, Logan, that his swing isn't designed for power like that. What was your reaction when you saw that ball go over the outfield?
Oh, I couldn't believe it, right? His swing is not for that, right? But the ball was up a little bit. He put a good swing on it. I've seen him hit a few balls out of the ballpark in BP, but just so excited for him. History has told us in the last decade in this ballpark it's really difficult to hit balls out, but certainly in these first three games in Omaha, it's that things have maybe changed a little bit, and it was, when it finally left the ballpark, I couldn't believe it. I was just so happy for him.
Damon Dillman.
Hey, Brian, Damon Dillman from Cavs Corner. You talked about this a little bit about Abbott on Friday, but both he and Logan are guys who, if last year goes according to plan, they're not back this year. From that perspective, what's it like seeing both of those guys go out and perform like this on this stage?
Well, I'm happy for both of them as well as others. This COVID, everything that was tough about it for all of us, right? There's a silver lining for these young men. Not just us, Tennessee, all the other teams that created an opportunity for them to kind of redo it for another year, to come back and get a chance to wear the uniform, another year. And for those guys, they've got a tremendous amount of pride, in this jersey, and they were ecstatic about coming back and seeing this through. So. These are memories that they will have for the rest of their life that they're making here, that they made throughout the entire season, but that they're going to make here in Omaha. And I'm just, proud of them and proud of the way that they're representing our baseball program.
Brian Smith.
Can you hear me, Coach?
I can now.
Yeah. Brian Smith, 13 News Now, Norfolk, Virginia. One, how big of a relief is it that you don't lose a game and you don't have to worry about having to face elimination or anything like that? And are you seeing this team hitting its stride given the start of what the season was like earlier?
Well, first, I'll tell you that, you want to be in the winner's bracket, certainly. But if it comes down to you really don't gain an advantage unless you go 2-0, right? It's really, you're at the same spot. So that'll play out on Tuesday night for us. But it's great to start off on a win here in Omaha. Having coached in this event, played in this event enough, it's really, really important. And once we move past this game, the next one will be even more important. But, I feel like this club is, hands down, there is no question about it. We were absolutely playing the best baseball of our year. And, offensively, we're a totally different team from where we were in the first half. The pitching is just really elite and doing some great things. So, this is this is when you want to be playing your best. Everybody does, right? You had to play your best, all 8 teams here to get here. But this is right in these 2 weeks is when you want to be playing your best baseball.
Kendall Rogers.
Kendall Rogers, in baseball. Brian, there aren't a lot of teams or a lot of pitchers who have been able to shut down Tennessee's offense. What did you kind of see from Andrew just from a sheer stuff standpoint today?
Well, Kendall, the skill level of Andrew, and I thought for the most part, other than the 2 walks, I thought it was pretty special execution. He's able to elevate his fastball. As in these baseball terms, he's got pretty special spin rate, and he's able to, throw it through the letters and get guys to chase. The breaking ball was good. The changeup to righties. He was just, Tennessee's talented, very, very talented. They can beat you with one swing of the bat. And so limiting the damage from not walking guys and then, just execution. You got to execute it on them because they're very, very skilled. And that because of the runs that they've put up this year. And so I felt like he was going to be the best guy for us to be able to execute and give us a chance, and he sure did.
We're going to go 2 more questions. Caroline Darney.
Coach, there were a couple really big defensive plays from Max, and you had another one from Nick Kent, a few of them during the game, and obviously it's a big part of backing up Andrew and Matt. How big was that to see their ability to stay calm and poised in these big moments as well, seeing that defensively?
Yeah, I was proud of them. Again, having been to many, many games in this stadium and the other stadium and see sometimes people don't handle the pressure in the moment real well, and they did defensively. Max played great. Nick did in the middle. If you're going to win here in Omaha against these kind of teams, there's that infield defense has to be there. It has to be great, and they were certainly fantastic today.
And final question, Michael Ferrara.
Hi, Coach. Michael Ferrara with Berg Sports Network in Leesburg, Virginia. Just kind of talk about, you mentioned depth of pitching. Andrew pitched very well today, and, you got some young guys like Nate Savino. For you as a coach and as a staff, how fun is it to watch this pitching staff throughout this whole year?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. It's, guys have developed. You see Matt Wyatt pitching his best baseball the last 3 weeks. You see a guy like Savino who's continued to develop, and his best days are ahead of him. You see the recent emergence of Griff McGarry. Mike Vassell has been a guy for us all year when we've really needed him. He's stepped up. So it's made it exciting to be able to make decisions on who do you put out there, because there's a lot of great options. And so it's been fun for Coach Dickinson and I. And by the way, he's doing an incredible job with these young men on the mound, getting them to be aggressive and execute and developing their skill. And the hardest thing that we do is to make decisions on which guy are we going to give the ball to? Because there's a lot of great choices, but I'd rather have that decision than the other.
Thank you, Coach, for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
We will be joined first by student athlete Andrew Abbott. And a reminder, if you are done with your questions, to lower your hand.
Is this fine to put up on the thing? Yeah.
All right, welcome to the podium, Andrew. We will start with Jerry Ratcliffe.
Congratulations, Andrew. Great performance. Just talk about your mental approach to facing such a powerful lineup as Tennessee, which I'm sure you're accustomed to, but they were a little special, and just your overall performance today.
Yeah, Tennessee really has a special lineup, a special coach. They've had a special year, frankly. They're really good. They finished top 5 in the nation, top in the SEC. They had a really good team coming in, so me and Drew sat down and kind of developed a plan for them, and it came to fruition during the game. It was mainly just execution of pitches and just trying to limit the damage. I got in a little more jams than I would like in that game to make it interesting, but just having the team defense behind me and the hitters, stepping up at the plate, it just made the difference for us.
Damon Dillman.
Hey, Andrew, Damon Dillman from Cavs Corner. I know how competitive of a guy you are, and not getting wins in those first 2 postseason starts. What did it mean to you to just get this opportunity today to get another shot in this postseason, and then to go out and pitch the way you did and play the way you guys did as a team?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was just trying to give the team the best chance to win. I didn't really care about what I did personally. I just wanted to go out and, give a strong start for our team and, give us the best chance to win. And, just keeping that offense quiet for as long as I did. And then our offense came around and, had a timely hitting. Just spoke to the depths of how we've been playing these recent few weeks and just chugging on along.
Bennett Conlon.
Hey, Andrew, Bennett Conlon with the Daily Progress. I think your first 3 pitches were balls and you walked the first guy, and then you settled in pretty well. But what was it like adjusting to the College World Series and maybe the nerves of being on this stage for the first time?
Yeah, it was just the first inning was mainly just, trying to get used to the fans. I mean, there's, I think, 22,000 of them here. That's something not every baseball player is used to, especially in college. And then, just slowing the game down and, executing pitches. I had rushing, my heart was beating 1,000 beats per minute, and just had to slow down, catch my breath, and go to work.
Preston Willett.
Hey, Andrew, obviously you work with Logan a lot throughout the year. Just what is it like to see him go out there and have a great game? He's been good behind the dish all season, but to see him at the plate and come up in the big ways that he did.
Yeah, he's been our anchor behind the plate for two seasons now. Guy just works really well with all the pitchers. He knows what the heck's going on, and he's one of those guys that steps up in big ways in different scenarios of blocking pitches, throwing a guy out in a big spot. Today hitting a home run in front of his dad was special for him, I know, and just being there and doing what the team needs is what this guy does, and when you do that, you get rewarded, and he's been doing that for 2 seasons now while he's been at UVA, so it's time for the rewards to start coming for him.
David Teal.
Andrew, David Teal from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Just a little bit more about Logan. You mentioned, how special it was for him to do what he did today in front of his dad. How aware have you guys been about, the challenges that he and his family have faced, and how have you guys as teammates tried to help him?
Mainly just trying to listen. His dad's been through a hard time with cancer, and just trying to be friends and to be people to listen. That's the best thing you can do as somebody that's had some hard times, is listen and understand what they're going through, and then you can figure out how to help them. I think baseball has helped him the most, other than teammates. Just being out there, the freedom, and knowing that his dad would want him to play. I mean, that's father-son special right there. That's what every family needs, and just being here today, I know he loved it.
Jeff White.
Hey, Andrew, Jeff White, VirginiaSports.com. Once you got through those first two batters, not only you, but the whole team never seemed rattled the rest of the game. Was the experience that Coach O'Connor and Kevin McMullen have, did that play a role at all in your preparation for this moment?
Yeah, they had talked about what to expect. They wanted us to come watch the Vandy game last night to just get a sense of the crowd. And, the ebbs and flows of the games here, the crowd reactions and all that's going to weigh on you guys, and not trying to play with just emotion, trusting our game, playing the way that we have been playing the last few weeks. And, to have three coaches actually, including Coach Kirby, that's been here multiple times, that just can only help you. I mean, they know what to expect. They've been to the finals, they've been runner-up, they've won the thing. So just having them kind of, telling us what to expect and how to handle ourselves and what we need to do at certain times, they can only help.
And our final question, Greg, you are up.
Andrew, just a quick question. You obviously went through a couple, you talked about the jams you went through, and they were obviously at different points and times in the game and different times through the batting order. What kind of adjustments did you make through each of those different types of jams you were going through? Was it just sequential changes, or what were you and Logan looking at in that process?
Mainly me and Logan were looking at, just execution of pitches. Early on in the game, I was leaving stuff up, and that's why we had one jam in the first inning. So it was mainly just, calming me down, telling me to take a breath, and then to refocus and, execute. I mean, that's the name of the game, and that's what you do as a pitcher. You want to execute and get outs for your team. And, after that happened, I started spotting up, and, they're a good hitting team. So, putting the ball in play isn't that bad. And, just not relying on yourself, relying on your defense and Logan behind the plate and the guys in the dugout, cheering for you and, pushing you to finish. That just means the world. And, that's what really set me to the mentality of, hey, I got to put a stop to this. I'm in my own jam. I want to get out of it.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Logan Michaels will join us shortly. Welcome to the podium, Logan. We will start with Jerry Ratcliffe.
Hey, Logan, congratulations. Can you just talk about what an emotional day it was for you and your feelings after you hit the home run? And I don't know if you know it or not, but somebody chased down the ball and gave it to your dad up in the stands.
Yeah, when I hit that, I instantly, when it went over the fence, I started thinking about my dad and how it's one of the most special moments we could share together. And I was sitting in the dugout after it happened. I got pretty emotional, and no, it's just for him to be here for what he went through in the past, just for him to be here and be able to see that. I couldn't have asked for anything more, and it's just a really special moment.
Eric Olson. Eric Olson.
I'm here. Just unmuted. Okay, Eric. Yeah, Eric with the Associated Press. Just how many times has your dad been able to watch you play?
So my first year here, he came to Notre Dame for 2 games, I want to say. And then he came down to Pensacola when we played Oklahoma last year before COVID happened. And then this year he came for the Louisville series, the Duke series, and then the Wake Forest series, but I was not playing. I was hurt. So, and then he came to the Super Regional and now. So I'd say probably 15 games maybe.
Damon Dillman.
Hey, Logan, Damon from Cavs Corner. How much do you think about excuse me, how much do you think about the fact that everything you guys have done these past few weeks, and especially the way today went for you today, if last year doesn't go the way it did, you don't get the opportunity. Who knows how last year would have gone, but you don't get to do the opportunity, opportunity to do the things you've been able to do these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I really haven't thought about that. I'm more of a guy who likes to stay in the moment, not look back at the past, I guess you could say. And so, I mean, what's happened in the past, I mean, obviously it's cool, and obviously, I mean, what we did last year is what we did. But, I mean, for us to be where we are right now, I mean, it's so exciting. I mean, this is the most fun I've ever had playing baseball. I mean, this group of guys on this team, I mean, we fight to the end of it. I mean, we compete every day. I mean, we just love each other. And so to be a part of this team, it's really special. I mean, I've enjoyed every second of it.
Bennett Conlin.
Hey, Logan, Bennett Conlon with the Daily Progress. I think you quote tweeted it, so you saw the video of your dad's reaction after the home run, but what's it like to see that? I know you were emotional, and he certainly was too when you hit that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's no words for it. Just for someone to bring him the home run ball, and then obviously for it to happen on Father's Day at the College World Series, I mean, definitely a special moment for our family and for my dad and I.
Preston Willett.
Hey, Logan, Preston Willett, BS19. Your dad said that your swing is not really built for home runs. You've only had 2 now here at Virginia. Just kind of what was your reaction seeing that ball just kind of get over the fence out there?
I mean, I knew I could do it. I've done it many times in practice. And so it's actually funny. Yesterday, a few of us were at lunch, and a group of guys with a podcast came and sat down with us and were asking us questions. And they asked me if I'm going to hit a home run tomorrow, and I said I'd like to say yes. And the guy asked me how many home runs I've had all year, and I said none. And so it's just kind of funny, like they asked me the question and then it happens. So, but no, I think a lot of us on the team have joked about how I'm saving it for my first one for Omaha this year. And so, no, I think it's just fun. Just like I said earlier, like this team, we joke about everything. And so for it to happen and help the team get a win, definitely happy for it.
We're going to do 2 more questions.
Okay.
First up is David Teal.
Logan, David Teal from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Brian told us earlier that there was a time 3 years ago where he wasn't even sure if you would come to UVA because of what was going on in your family. Yeah. How seriously did you consider that option? And parents encourage you to go to Charlottesville?
I mean, I remember there was one time where I went home. I got to UVA, and I was there for about a month. And I flew home for the weekend at the end of September. And I remember getting home, and it was that weekend I was home. It was the sickest he'd been since he was sick. And so I remember getting back on my flight to leave home, and I remember I cried all the way on my flight from Chicago to Charlottesville, just not wanting to go back and go home and be with my family and just help them. And so I got back to school, and I remember I talked to our academic counselor, and we were talking, and I just was like, I don't know if this is right for me right now. But at the same time, like, I've worked my whole life for this. Like, this is what I've wanted my whole life. I've worked for it really hard. And so it was just a really tough decision. I mean, obviously I'm so happy that I stayed here. And I think I talked to my family a lot too. And my dad was always like, no, just stay there. Like, you'll enjoy it. Like, this is what you've been meant to do your whole life. And so, obviously, I ended up staying here, but no, I mean, I wouldn't say it was very serious, the thought of leaving, but it was definitely a thought.
And final question, Caroline Darney.
Caroline Darney, Streaking the Lawn. How big is it when you see like Max climb a ladder like that to get the, snag a ball going into right field, and what Nick did, and also how you're balancing this excitement of being in Omaha with this poise and big moments like you had today?
Yeah, I mean, this team, everybody's a leader on this team. I mean, you can look right and left. I mean, everybody can lead. Everybody steps up in big moments. And I think that's why we're playing so well. I mean, every team here is really, really good and really talented. And so it's going to take guys on the team to step up and be leaders. And so I mean, you could just look around the whole team, and I mean, you look in the regional, the super regional. I mean, every game there was different guys stepping up, and I think that's a really good characteristic to have with this team is just everybody's stepped up in a big way at some point in the season.
All right, thank you, Logan. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
And then if you're looking for the media or the recording of this, you can find it on the NCAA Digital Media Hub. Thanks, everyone.